Let everybody get set. Coach will make an opening statement, and then we'll take questions. Just raise your hand, and I'll call on you. Coach?
Good win for us tonight. I do want to start out just by thanking our fans. They were fantastic tonight. Showed out in droves. A night where it was not the prettiest of weather. They stayed. We feel them and appreciate them, man. They've been on this journey with us together this season, but really over the last 2 years, and appreciate their support. Our players, it means a lot to them. Love the way that our kids responded and finished the regular season. It's been a long time since we've won 10. It's something that we talked about this week. It was important to go finish the right way, and our guys did that. Defensively, they responded in a really positive way. They're a prideful group and played a lot better football this week. I know there's been a lot of talk outside of our program, just from different people about what the culture is inside of our locker room, man. And when I got here 2 years ago, nobody thought we'd win 10 by this point. But there were 30-plus kids that left this program. This group chose to stay, and they bought into me. They bought into our staff. They bought into the culture, the connection inside of our locker room, what we're going to build inside of our program, and they built it. And they only did that by working hard, competing together, and then competing for one another. And we've been far from perfect, and that starts with me. But I'll tell you what, this group loves one another, and that's why we've turned this program in the right direction, and the future is bright. And I'll go to battle with these guys any day, anywhere.
Austin, defensively, you talk about being a prideful group. What did you see from that group tonight? And then the big splash plays in the running game in the second half. Jalen, 5 carries for 160, and Dylan had over 100. Amari, I mean, offensive line, I think, was a little prideful too, right?
Yeah. Defensively, a week ago, all three levels playing together, gap integrity. A lot of what we saw tonight were things that we had seen a week ago. And we didn't play our best football. We didn't play assignment, alignment, and technique. And tonight we did. And we made plays. And, we were physical. You got to defeat blocks. We did that. And it's a group that at the end of the day, was disappointed in the way that they played. And you could feel that early in the week. And prepared and played really good football. Offensively, the big run, the weather was tough tonight, and I thought our offensive line took over the football game in the second half as far as what we were doing offensively and able to create big runs. Our running back stepped through something typically in the first or second level right there, or third level early, and did a great job of extending the play. Thought we blocked cleaner up front in the second half, and he created those big plays.
David Pascal and Joe Rexford.
Josh, can you just talk about the defense on the back end, given all the defensive backs you were out?
There were a lot of guys that were out tonight. Defensively, obviously, we're missing 3 guys that probably started a week ago. Guys played different positions. They played them well. Offensively, we were missing a bunch of guys that weren't able to play in this one. Next man up, competed hard, and proud of the effort. And nobody batted an eye, and when they got their opportunity, they played good football.
Josh, you mentioned that culture. Was that tested at all this week? And then also, what did you see from Jeremy Banks this week and coming back?
Purposeful, wanted to play well, and meant something to play with the guys around him. The beginning part of your question, I'm sorry.
You mentioned the culture. Was it tested this week?
Yeah, sure. In the way that highly disappointed in how we played a week ago. How do you handle adversity, man? It matters. This football team, like this program, has faced a ton of adversity, in the last 2.5 years, and these kids have handled it the right way. And that does not mean that we play perfect each week, obviously, but they handle adversity and they fight and they regroup and they come back.
Up front.
Coach, 55 seconds right off the bat to get on the board. Is that, I mean, the fast play right there to get the whole sequence all the way on the field, does that set the tone for the rest of the game for you guys?
It set the tone for the first series, but you still got to go out. You got to get a stop. You got to come back and create momentum on top of that. You know, the weather pattern, we knew it was going to get rougher during the course of the ball game, and you know, the wind would probably pick up too, and felt like, you know, we wanted to take the football first and then try to create some big plays. And you know, some of what we do, just an RPO game and that type of thing, the weather had a factor on it. You know, I mean, you're in the belly, the ball's getting wet as you're, you know, riding the back, and I thought Joe did a really good job of taking care of the football tonight. We created some big plays. You know, there's a couple things that he'd like to have back, but all in all, just with everything that was going on tonight, I thought he played well.
Patrick Brown.
Josh, going back to the culture, what signs did you see early in the week that culture would pull you guys through what happened last week, and you guys
you guys heard me say I was disappointed, right? And we were real honest in the locker room after the football game last week, and everybody knows there was an opportunity that was lost, and there's nobody to blame except ourselves, and it starts with me, our staff, and our players, and highly disappointed in the outcome of that football game, but that happens because, you know, our competitive spirit wasn't what it needed to be dialed in everything that you got to do. At the same time, you know, we talk about resetting all the time, and you're only as good as your next one, and you know, for the coaches, it stung on Sunday when you still got in the office and you got to flip forward. For our players, you know, Monday they got to go watch the tape, and you could feel. I don't know, just that it hurt, and you know, by the time we got on the grass on Tuesday, I thought, you know, our guys were bouncing around, and we had good practices, and you know, they were good in the meeting rooms too. And you combine that, then you have an opportunity to go out and play better football. It doesn't guarantee it, but it puts you in a position to.
What was it like to have Hendon here on the sideline around the team during the week?
I think it's important for our football team that Hendon's around. Leadership doesn't change just because you're not the guy taking the snap, and your influence doesn't change. But I think it's important for Hendon too, and be around the guys, to see him dance in the locker room with the guys afterwards. He is a huge part of the culture of this program. You know, the success that we've had, and you know, the stamp of him will be felt and left on this program forever.
Adam, then Wes.
In answering that culture question, did Hendon spearhead that? Did the other players? What was the leadership look like this week?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of guys that spearhead that, but at the end of the day, the culture is everybody. And like I said, you know, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect, but we are true to that and compete, man. And you know, like I said, man, this is a group that cares. They're prideful in the, you know, how they play, but they're prideful in what they've built too. And early in the week, just challenge them. This was an important game for us. You know, it's about finishing, man. Everybody starts something. How do you finish? And it's a good finish to a special regular season and a special group, what they've done.
Josh, how did Joe sort of handle this week? I mean, was there anything different about him? Did you see kind of a sharpness or focus to him that was different? And how do you think he handled these conditions tonight?
I thought he handled, at the end of the day, the first thing you worry about is just turnovers, and we played really pretty clean. You know, exchanges and you know, no turnovers. So that's the first part on the playing side of it. All in all, I thought he handled the game really well. During the course of the week, like, he stayed in his routine, you know what I mean, when he was in our building. And I think that speaks to the way that he had prepared as a backup too, that his habits really didn't change as far as extra time spent in the building, watching film with coaches, extra you know, preparation during the meetings. He was excited for his opportunity, you know, and has prepared for a long time to get another opportunity and play better.
Mike, then Vince.
Josh, with bowl possibilities like orange and cotton out there, do you have a preference on destination? What does it mean just to be in the conversation for those things right now?
Yeah, don't have a preference. End of the day, I've learned that your preference, typically doesn't come true anyway. So, obviously you got to sit back and watch another week of ball. For us, wherever we end up is where we end up. Look forward to competing with these guys again, and obviously feel like we'll be in a special bowl, and expect our fan base to travel well and us to get ready to go play well.
Josh, what can you say about the job D. Williams did on the punt return, and then also you guys went 2 returners that looked like Squirrel kind of sprung them initially?
Yeah, just what they do on their punt unit. Felt like we needed to have 2 guys back there at times. D's been really close throughout the course of the season. A cut here or there by him maybe, or the other 10 guys competing and straining. We got a chance to get one to the house. Tonight, D did a great job, but the other guys on the unit did a really great job too of creating space for him and multiple returns. Obviously, the big one that goes all the way. Squirrel was back there. We trust him with the ball in his hands too, and did a great job.
Eric?
A couple of runs really opened up, scoring from 80, 83, 50, 53.
Yeah.
What kind of worked well for
Exactly how you thought it was going to happen. Yeah. End of the day, we were pretty clean up front. There were a couple of pull schemes that happened on, up front, they did a really good job on double teams, but got off on the second level too. The backs pressing the course was important too, just to hold the backers inside. On a couple of them, they stepped through some stuff too, and D. Samp stepped through one, Jalen Wright stepped through one too. So it was everybody involved in those runs.
Josh, next few weeks you'll close out the 2023 recruiting class, transfer portal window will open, and you'll get those extra bowl practices. How important do you consider these next few weeks to the continued growth in the program?
Yeah, bowl prep is extremely important. You get a chance to kind of reset, get into fundamentals early part of it. Your vets continue to grow as you get ready and get closer to the bowl game. Your young guys get so many valuable opportunities to grow and compete. Some really good things that some young guys did late in the ball game tonight. There's some things that they can obviously be a whole lot better at. The urgency of bowl preparation will be important. Obviously, we're getting ready to go finish the 23 recruiting class here. 2 years ago we talked about what we were going to do. They can see what the culture is. They can feel it. They see the connection inside the building. They understand what our coaching staff's all about. They understand, that this program's on solid ground, but only going to continue to get better.
All right. Thank you. We'll have players in here shortly.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great night.
Thanks,